It's summer. Are you celebrating? I know I am. It's time for our summer reading program. So this is going to be a 6-week journey to imagine your story. And so I want you to close your eyes and think of, if you were writing a story, what would your story be? So I'm going to talk to you about different ways to read and interpret stories. So this week our theme is going to be magical creatures. And I'm going to read to you Little Grunt and the Big Egg, a prehistoric fairy tale by Tommy DiPaolo. This was published by Puffin Books. Once upon a time, in a big cave past the volcano on the left, lived the Grunt tribe. There was Unca Grunt, Aunt Grunt, Granny Grunt, Mama Grunt, and Papa Grunt. Their leader was Chief Rockhead Grunt. The smallest grunt of all was called Little Grunt. Little Grunt, said Mama Grunt, the Oogwa Woogwa tribe is coming for Sunday brunch. Please go and gather eggs. Yes, Mama, said Little Grunt, and off he went. But eggs were hard to find. Little Grunt looked and looked. What am I going to do? He asked himself. I can't find a single egg. I'll try one more place. You see how he's crawling down here? And it was a good thing that he did, because there in the one more place was the biggest egg Little Grunt had ever seen. How would he ever get it home? Eggs break very easily. I know, he said. He gathered some thick pointy leaves and he wove them into a mat, and he carefully rolled the egg on top of it. Then he pulled and he pulled and he pulled the egg all the way home. Do you see how he pulled? My goodness, said the Grunt tribe. Ooga, ooga, what an egg! That will feed us and the Oogwa Woogwats, and even the Grizzler tribe. Maybe we should invite them to Sunday brunch too. Oogwa, oogwa, yummy, yummy, said the Grunts. They put the egg near the fire and went to bed. In the middle of the night, the egg began to make noise. Click, crack, a big piece of shell fell to the floor. Click, crack, clunk, plop. The egg broke in half, and instead of the big egg sitting by the fire, what do you think it hatched into? There was a baby dinosaur! Wah! Cried the baby dinosaur, and the Grunt tribe all woke up. Oogwa, oogwa, they said. What's that? Chief Rockhead Grunt said, all I know is it can't stay. But before he could finish, Little Grunt asked, may I keep him, please, please? Every boy needs a pet, said Granny Grunt. Against my better judgment, mumbled Chief Rockhead Grunt. I'm going to call him George, said Little Grunt. Little Grunt and George became great pals. But there was a problem. The cave stayed the same size, but George didn't. He began to grow and grow and grow. The cave got very crowded, and there were other problems. George wasn't housebroken. George ate all the leaves off all the trees and the bushes all liked to play rough. George stepped on things, and when he sneezed, well, it was a disaster. The next morning, Little Grunt took George back to where he had found him. "Goodbye, George," said Little Grunt. "I'll sure miss you." "Warg," said George. Big tears, look at his tears, rolled down their cheeks. Sadly, Little Grunt watched George walk slowly into the swamp. "I'll never ever see him again," sobbed Little Grunt. The days and the months went by, and Little Grunt still missed George. He dreamed about him at night and drew pictures of him in the day. "Little Grunt certainly misses that dinosaur," said Mama Grunt. "He'll get over it," said Papa Grunt. "I still say a cockroach makes a nice pet," said Granny Grunt. That night, the cave started to shake. The floor began to pitch, and loud rumblings filled the air. "Earthquake!" cried the grunts. "No, it's not," said Granny Grunt. "Look, volcano!" Sure enough, steam, rocks, and black smoke shot out of the top. Big rocks and huge boulders tumbled and bounced around in front of the cave. "We're trapped! We're trapped!" shouted the grunts. "What are we going to do?" "Don't ask me," said Chief Rockhead. "I resign." "Now we have no leader," said Aunt Grunt. "Now we're really in trouble," shouted Papa Grunt, as lava poured out of the volcano in a wide, flaming river. It headed straight for the cave. There was not enough time for the grunts to escape. All of a sudden, the grunts heard a different noise. "Warg! Warg! Wonk!" "It's George!" cried Little Grunt. "He's come to save us!" "Oogwa, oogwa!" cried the grunts. They all ran to George and quickly filled up his long neck, his long back, and his very long tail. And before you could say Tyrannosaurus Rex, George carried them far away to safety. "As your new leader," Papa Grunt said, "I say this is our new cave." "I like the kitchen," said Mama Grunt. "When do we eat?" said Uncle Grunt. "I can't wait to start decorating," said Aunt Grunt. "I always say a change of scenery keeps you from getting old," said Granny Grunt. "And George can live right next door," said Little Grunt. "Where is George?" asked Mama Grunt. "Ooga, ooga, here, George," called the grunts. "Roar!" answered George. "Look," said Little Grunt. "Oh no," said the grunts. Look what is underneath George. There was George sitting by a big pile of eggs. "I better call Georgina," said Little Grunt. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. So, I can't remember if I said this or not. We're going to have 6 weeks of fun. I'm going to do a book each time. I'm going to do a book each week. And then there's going to be a craft. And if you would like to do the craft, I really need to know the week before. And I know we're going to kind of all figure this out as we go, but I need to just make sure I have enough supplies. This week, we are going to be making dragon eggs. And you'll get some information and supplies on how to make the dragon eggs. And if you could stop by Tuesday or Thursday, but I really need you to pre-register if you can. And we'll be making dragon eggs during the summer. We'll be making masks. We'll be making some kind of mask. We will be making, so this is the next week. The third week, we're making the third week, we're making catapults. The fourth week, we are going to make kindness rocks. The fifth week, I gotta make one. I haven't made one. We're gonna make puppets. And the sixth week, we're gonna make bookmarks. And I have a few other things, activities. So I said during each one of these video YouTube things, I'm gonna give you a secret mission that only the kids who watch the video are gonna know. I want you to go out and have your parents take a picture of you reading. And then I want you to either text it or email me or post it on your parents' Facebook account, or send it to me and I'll post it. And if you post it on your account, please add hashtag Doland Community Library, hashtag Imagine Your Story. So again, go out, show me what you're reading, take a picture of, have your parents take a picture of you reading somewhere, anywhere. Get creative with it. And everybody who sends me a picture, I'm going to put their name into a pot, a basket for a prize at the end of the summer reading. So let's get a bunch of social media out there and make it fun. So thank you, and I will see you next week.